again, we are back from Essen SPIEL 2018 and we did get a game from the Japan publisher itten, Stonehenge and the Sun. That is actually a prototype, so you cannot buy this game, but they are planning to do a Kickstarter project with this game material. The basic game is made of wooden pieces and it all depends on a metal ball, which is hanging from your ceiling. We will cover that in the video as well. At the moment there are 2 game variations inside the box, but there will be more in the Kickstarter project. They are trying to develop more game variants while the Kickstarter will be launched. So we will have a look onto the components, and on the first look we will have a look on the metal ball, which you have to hang from your ceiling. You cannot hang it right in the air. So we will have a look how it's done at the moment, and later perhaps in the Kickstarter campaign there will be different versions to hang the ball on the wall. At the moment there's just one. So these are now the basic game components. All are made of wood. So the board is made of wood, the wooden pieces of course are made of wood, and we have got a metal ball on a thread which we are using normally for fishing. It's a very strong thread, and you need to hang the metal ball 1 centimeter of around 1 to 5 centimeters over the board, so you can swing it, and the wooden pieces are, oh, I have to aim. I'm very bad at aiming now. What's happening here? So the wooden pieces are can throw over. That should be around the perfect size here, perhaps a little bit lower, but that should be around the perfect size. At the moment there are in the prototype, there's here this ceiling hanger or wall hanger, which you should know when you hang a picture to the wall. So you have to put a small hole inside your ceiling for that. That's normally not an issue because it's a very small hole and you can just leave the hook on the ceiling. It doesn't matter, nobody will see it. And after some years you can just fill the hole in the ceiling and everything is fine. But they are now searching for different versions on how to hang it on the ceiling or to something different. You can do it by a knot. We did it in a special way we will show you in a few seconds or minutes, or you can do it perhaps with a magnet or anything else. You can also buy a different thread, so also a thread for fishing, and put one thread in the perfect height for your building and use a different thread when you walk around with the game. We have here the very long thread, and you see it's double the length it should be. So I have here the other thread, the end of the thread. I can hang it on a different ceiling with the thread which is included in the game. So normally it shouldn't be any issue. We thought there will be issues, but it was very easy to hang it. We just hang the thread up on our lamp and use a different thread which we are using for cooking to bind meat with it. 2 of them to get the thread fixed on the lamp so it will not move. We will show you that now. So now you see here my lamp. The lamp is directly on the ceiling. We just use here this portion of the lamp to fix it. The nylon thread, we did a loop with it, and the loop is caught by the 2 other threads, and now it's fixed. So we can use that very easy. We tried it first with
Scotch.
We tried it first with Scotch tape, but it didn't hold the fishing thread in place. So we tried it with the 2 different threads, and that works perfectly. You can also hang it directly to the ceiling, as we already mentioned, with the hook, or you can do such as we did with other threads. It depends on your lamp, of course, but it took us 2 to 5 minutes and it was a very easy job to do. So after you've finished your hard work and the ball is hanging right in the middle of the game board, you can start the game. So you have got wooden pieces, of course, as well. You have got a small wooden piece, a middle and a big one. They are on different heights, and you can stack them together. You can stack them different way around, or you can stack them all the same way around, but then it gets a little bit messy when you stack them very high. Yeah, that's all you need. You also have here some wooden discs, depending on the version which you are playing. And now we come to the two versions of the game. So you have got 4 discs, so you can play with 4 players. We are playing now with 2. I choose yellow because I always play yellow, and my wife is choosing
green.
Green. All right, so we don't need the other 2 colors. It is set. We set green to here, we set white to here, and we can start the first version of the game. The game is very easy. It's a dexterity game where you are not allowed to hit over some stones, and for that you are using here this ball. So what you are doing in the first step is you build a tower made of wood. So you can choose the wooden piece as you like. You can choose the big one, the middle one, or the small one, and you place it anywhere on the board. After that, you have to move your disc. So the disc is to the right or to the left. The nearest stone has to be the stone which you placed in this turn. And you cannot move between 2 stones where the other player stays. I will show that in the next turn, because in the first move it doesn't make any sense at all. After you moved, you have to get the ball and throw it over the board. The other player will catch it. It doesn't matter if the ball is rotating more often over the board. You just have to do 1 turn. So the ball have to go over the board for once, and you look if a wooden piece is fall over or not. If a wooden piece moves out of the board, you have to take it. If it fall over, you have to take it. It's 1 minus point. You can start from your disc, or you can start from the other end, and your disc is the end of the movement. And you have to start from one hand apart from the board to throw it. That are all the rules there. So when the other player, when it is the other player's turn, you can also put a stone anywhere. Then he moves his disc. This one is his piece which he placed. His disc is now in the rule, and now we have to throw the ball, and the other player will catch it. Nothing happened here. You can also place it here, and then I move the disc. Let's do it that way here. And I move the disc, and then I can throw it. And I want to show you the gate. So when there are more wooden pieces on the board, you can choose to take a wooden piece and make a gate. That's also allowed. And in that case, you have to stay where you are and throw the ball 1 more time. And don't throw anything over, or you get minus points. It's also allowed to put 2 blocks on top of each other, but only 2. You cannot remove this now. It's 1 piece, and you cannot remove here anything at the gate, except when somebody hits something over. Then you can already grab another marker to build another wooden piece to build a gate, because now it isn't a gate anymore. You play that until all wooden pieces are gone. Whoever has the lesser minus points win the game. Now let's have a look at the other version of the game. Now it's a dexterity game, and your goal is to stack 10 pieces on each other. Whoever gets there first will win the game. So first you choose a color. Better that is green again. You put your color anywhere you like, and on the opposite side you put the other color. Yellow will do the same. And then you choose one of the discs. Now I will choose that one here. And then you do a circle with the ball, and you count the number of times the ball go around that disc. If it is the 3rd time, the people can start to build. You can build here or there as a green player, and the yellow player can build here and there. It's not allowed to touch the thread or the ball. It's move around the ball, so you have to wait for building each time it moves around your corner. When you hit the ball or the thread, you pause the game, everybody waits, then you start again, count to 3 when the ball moved around the board, and then you replay the game. When you have 10 pieces all together, you win the game, and you have to be the first one for winning. That are all the rules. And that's the second game with dexterity and the metal ball. When you play over 3 rounds, when you hit the ball or the thread, it is 1 minus point. And when you get the goal first to get 10 pieces over each other, then you get 1 plus point. And you play it for 3 rounds or more, and whoever has the most points at the end wins the game. At the moment there are only 2 versions available for gameplay, but as I heard from the guys, and I know a lot of other guys who came up with different ideas, so there will be other versions, very sure that there will be. But at the moment we can only show you these 2. We like the game very much, and there will be a Kickstarter from itten where you can pledge it. All components will be made of wood, except the ball, of course, which is made of strong metal, so it can turn over the wooden pieces. I will have a look at how the thread will be connected to your ceiling, because that is the only issue at the moment. I think at home it will not be a problem, you can just put the hook up on your ceiling and it doesn't matter. But when you want to put the game around and you want to show it to your friends, so when you get the game with you, then it's very hard to play on your friends and you tell them, I have to stab something in your ceiling. That's not so cool. So it would be good if there is a special version of it where you can play it on your ceiling by friends. Perhaps a hook thing where you can thread it around anything and you can unhook it as well. That would be the perfect version to myself, I guess. Let's have a look what itten finds to get this thing working. The Kickstarter will start soon, and there you can look at the game, at the components on their thread thing here on your ceiling, and pledge the game. See you then, bye bye!